This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Amanda Young. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm excellent. It's a great pleasure to connect with you. Tonight, I had a friend visit that I haven't seen for probably like 5 years. And I think he's the one and only guy that I couldn't tell, and his family, I couldn't tell, hey, I have podcast interviews tonight. So I do appreciate you just giving me that opportunity to be a bit late. There's so many others that I missed tonight, but I'm glad that we're connected. What part of the world are you in right now?
I am just outside of Chicago in Oak Park, Illinois.
All right. And which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
Well, so that's where the magic comes in, because I have no idea how we're really connected. I got this magical email that was like, hey, this guy's doing this podcast. And I was like, oh, all right. Well, this is normal in my life, though, because I'm an energy healer. So I often don't know how I'm connected to people. They just appear in my life, and I just say yes when my instinct says, my intuition will be like, hey, just do this. And I go with it.
Love it. Well, I mean, Amanda, Amanda means power, right? The meaning of Amanda is power, right? Do you know
Really?
that? Yeah.
Well, in the translation that I've been given, it means worthy of love, but I love power.
It does mean worthy
Yeah.
of love as well. Yes, you are correct. Yeah. But it's the thing that Nelson Mandela said when he was freed. He said, Amanda.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. My wife's name is Amanda as well. So,
Beautiful.
yeah.
That's awesome. Somebody was just telling me that the power of your name is something special. And because mine is Amanda Young, the word you is in the back of it. So it's power you, which is pretty much what I do, is help people empower themselves. So
Yes,
there's
that's
that.
beautiful. So tell us about your podcast as well, please.
Yeah, so I've got a podcast called the Finding Clarity Podcast, and I talk about energy healing on it, and it's super fun. It's just something I started, it's already been like 6 months or something, and it's great. It's a fun way to just take what's happening with me in my life in the moment and share it with other people so that it goes far and wide, and it's already changing lives. People are reaching out to me and saying, oh, I totally reorganized my closet and my wardrobe based on what you said energetically about clothing. And I'm like, okay, well, that's awesome. Or I'll, I have one about language and how important it is to not swear, or just to really be clear on the words that you're using. And now people swear in my presence. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, it's okay. Just understand. I just want you to have the awareness of the energy that you're sending out into the world with every breath. So it feels good.
Yeah, it's very important. My friends that visited, their son suffers with autism, right? And that was a conversation. Like we said, you should not say he is autistic. Yeah, he is on the autistic spectrum. Like, let's do that, because your words are so powerful, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's like he's experiencing autism. Okay, that's interesting, right? Like there's a neutrality to it, instead of, otherwise it becomes the diagnoses we give ourselves. Man, to unwind those after somebody has adopted that is so beautiful, and just having the power to do that with people. I had a woman that was dyslexic, and she would say she experienced dyslexia growing up, but she was told she was dyslexic, right? So that became a label that defined her. And we uncovered it, we unwound it, and then all of a sudden she's just like, oh my gosh, dyslexia isn't what my world revolves around anymore. And it gave her such power and freedom. There's that power word again.
Yeah. I almost said Amanda.
Yeah.
So what does the H in your name stand for? It's Amanda H. Young. What does that H stand for?
So it's my maiden name, Hammond.
Okay.
I was originally Amanda Hammond, and I just moved it over when I got married. to keep it because I thought it was a fun last name.
That's cool. So where's the best place for someone to connect with you?
AmandaHyoung.com. I keep it easy.
All right, all right. Well, tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Oh my gosh. Learn. I am a voracious learner and reader of things, and that learning, because I'm just so interested in personal growth and becoming the best version of myself, that I can't stop learning. I've been, this last week, I'm learning about how to heal your eyesight naturally so that you don't have to use glasses or corrective lenses. And just, that's not something I ever even thought was possible until I saw a speaker the other day who was talking about it. And I'm thinking, wow, really? And it's blown my mind because everything, I'm going to the dentist and they're saying, well, you have to have this procedure done. And I'm questioning everything now going, but do I really? Can I just heal that? So it's really fascinating to see what we're stuck into in our mindset as far as the beliefs and the limitations and the fears that we have. And to be able to look at those with a totally blank, clear lens and say, is this really what I believe? Is this really my reality? Is this my perception? Is this my truth? And pushing back against things that might not necessarily be.
It's freedom.
It's freedom, completely. To be able to just, if a doctor gives you a diagnosis or somebody gives you a label or something is pushed on you, you can just hesitate and say, I don't need to digest that. That doesn't need to be my truth. That can be your truth all you want. But you're taking your power back and saying, I get to choose what my reality is going to be and how I'm going to proceed with this, instead of giving it to somebody else and saying, oh, well, the doctor said you've got 6 months to live. Well, that just must be it. I mean, we're seeing so many examples of people breaking that pattern and living 5 years, 10 years, or their entire lifetime ahead of them, defying all odds. Mindset.
Love it. Well, amazing audience, you're hearing it live from Amanda H. Young. You can connect with her at amandahyoung.com. Amanda, let's switch gears for a moment now. Let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Amanda, what's your earliest childhood memory?
Well, I was thinking about this, and it's really, when I was a kid, I had a best friend that had, we would go out when it was raining. After it would rain, we'd pull up our umbrellas and we'd walk out on the sidewalks and the streets in our little cul-de-sac. This was back in Iowa. And we would take the worms out of the water and put them into the grass or move them out of the street or off the sidewalk and save them. That's one of my earliest memories. I think it's the funniest thing because I was compassionate and wanted to help even at the age of 4, right? Like that's just always been part of me. And I love the smell after the rain and the crispness and the calm, and nobody else was out. So it was just the two of us walking around. The parents had said, get out of the house, go do something. It stopped raining. Get out of here. You're driving me crazy.
How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
Well, there's that compassion piece. There's the beauty in nature. I love when it rains. Other people see rain as just kind of a dull and dreary day, and I just see it as washing away. It's very cleansing and another good way to just release what's not serving us. So, yeah, it's a calm place to be. And I love being in nature.
Well done. Yeah, I love it. Love it. All right. If we fast forwarded to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
This is another good one. Good Vibrations. And I didn't realize that Willetta Holloway was part of it, but it's known for being done by Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, which I thought they were awesome. I would have a dance party every time this song came on. And I listened to the lyrics again today. And it's all about being drug-free, being able to party with a good vibration without being clouded by drugs or alcohol or things like that. This must have been during the anti-drug movement back in the early 90s. And that resonates with me today too, because my body is a temple and a vessel, and I just nourish myself in every way, shape, or form. So found that
it's amazing. Yeah, it's pretty cool how the words of that connect with who you are today. Isn't that intriguing?
Totally full circle. Yeah.
All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready? Amanda, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yeah.
Are you married?
I am 17 years.
Wow, give us a secret, please.
Oh my gosh, he's my high school sweetheart, but he's not. We started dating in college, but he's been my best friend since high school, junior high. So this is destiny all the way.
Love it. All right. Do you guys have any children?
We do. I've got 2 kids, a daughter, Ada, who's 11, my son, Ian, who's 8.5. And then we have a cat or 2 cats and a dog.
Wow. Do you believe in God?
I do. The divine has always inspired me.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
This is a great question. I don't really. It's more of a star. It's a bunch of people that I reach out to as needed, and they each fill a different hole.
That's intriguing. A star. Never heard that before. Do you watch TV? Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I just think it's fascinating. The star thing. I'm fascinated that nobody else, that people have this circle. They don't really connect for me. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
I don't. I do binge shows typically to shut down and integrate when I'm doing a lot of healing work and I've got a big download coming, but I'm not much of a TV. I'm a big TV person, but in strong bursts instead of little bits throughout each day.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Oh my gosh. Lately it's been way less than 8 hours a day. I'm doing a lot to just get away from it. And it's a big struggle with kids because they just want to be on it. They're so addicted to it at this point. So we're making a big effort around here to move away from it. Yeah.
And if you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Amanda H. Young, what would you say that is?
Oh my gosh. That's an interesting question. I don't even know how to answer that. I mean, it's a really just,
You could say pass. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think I always tell people to just go forth and be awesome. Really, that's just my whole intent behind the world is to just get people to inspire them to be their best selves and really go out there and do what they're meant to do here.
Love it. Amanda Young, again, this was such a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Well, yeah, if they are interested in learning more about energy healing or learning how to do it themselves, they can always go to my website. We talked about my name, amandahyoung.com. That's where they can find access to the podcast. It's also a YouTube channel, so that people like to watch it and see my funny faces I make. And then the other piece of this is really just, for people who are interested in learning how to do it, I've got a video series on there where they can start the Energy Mastery Foundations course for free. And that's a cool little way. Even if they don't want to learn the course, they can learn these cool little tricks that I call it energy hygiene. It's just like hand washing was 100 years ago before we knew about germs. So it's a great way to keep yourself clean and move through the world in a more kinder, gentler, awesomer fashion, if awesomer is a word.
You just made it a word. And I'll say it too. Yeah, awesomer. I love it.
Yeah. Embrace your power and go forth and be awesome.
There we go. Amanda Young, again, great pleasure. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.